on three. 1, 2, 3. Win!
The alley-oop!
Welcome to the Natalie Marlowe Show, an in-depth analysis of St. Martin's women's basketball. Well, Coach, this week it was a week ahead, a little bit of everything. A game on Thursday against Western Washington where you saw Jada Travis have an elite shooting performance, but what were some of the takeaways and positives you can gain out of the game like that one?
Obviously, it was tough. Anytime you're playing at Western, they're a really good home team. They've always got a really good crowd, good support. They do a really good job. So, the first time we played them, they were missing a few players, and those players stepped up big in their win on Thursday over us. We did not have a great game as far as our execution when it comes to our game plan. Couldn't get some shots to fall that we needed to, but overall it was a tough trip. But again, they're a really good team. Hats off to them and how they executed. They've battled a lot of injuries and some hiccups throughout the year, and they've done an awesome job managing that and battling through it and having the next person step up. So yeah, it was tough, but I think for us, it was a good punch in the mouth, and I think we kind of let that hang over into Saturday a little bit until we figured some things out at halftime.
But about that game on Saturday, tough test against the Simon Fraser team that your side is clawing neck and neck for that final GNAC spot. And what was said at halftime of that game?
Yeah, I've had a couple people ask me. I sat. There was a chair in the locker room. I sat in the chair, and I just said, if we want to compete, if we want to be, talked about in the top 6, we have to be better. We've got to play with more confidence. We just looked a little hesitant. We were doubting a little too much. Obviously, we got ourselves into some foul trouble early on. But, we've talked about since day one, it's got to be 1 through 13, next man up mentality. And, obviously we had some big people step up in some big ways. Jada going down, rolling her ankle in the first quarter was tough, and she's played a pivotal role in our success so far this year. So for her to go down, I think everyone was just kind of shaking their head. What are we going to do? Because she's taken so much on as a freshman and as a starting point guard. So it was really like we don't have to change anything. We just have to be better at what we're doing and what we're trying to get done. So again, we had some kids step up, but we really did a really good job of executing our game plan in the second half. They're a good team, and obviously Sophia's a great player, and she can score. Putting 21 up on us in the first half is big, but we held her to 5 in the second, and that was really the difference of the game. Our kids adjusted well. The adjustments we did make at halftime, we executed those to a T in the second half, and again, we just started playing with confidence and believed in ourselves a little bit more than I think we did at the beginning of the game.
One of the big things about that fourth quarter was the performance from the free throw line, and going 10 of 12 from the stripe. How big is that in a game like that one?
I mean, it's crucial. We shoot free throws. We focus on free throws every single day because of how important they are. I'm glad we made them in the fourth quarter because they were a little sparse in the rest of the game. But yeah, we locked in when we needed to, and I think that shows the direction that we can go in, and that that we have every weapon that we need to be successful. We just ultimately have to buckle down and believe in ourselves a lot more and just play with more confidence, less hesitation, remove the doubt from our everyday activities and execution within practice.
How big was it for Kiana Rios to get back into a good scoring effort?
Yeah, she was in foul trouble early. Mads was in foul trouble early, and Kiki struggled with that the last couple games. So for her to see the ball go through the net a lot more and just get some open open opportunities was huge. And, again, our halftime adjustments, we really tried to spread the floor out a little more and beat them downhill, and we did a really good job of doing that. And with that and our aggressive attacking to the basket led us to get to the free throw line because of how hard we started to play and drive and be assertive within our offense. So, yeah, it was good to see her get some shots fall.
Sophia Wazowski, 5 points in the second half. Who impressed you the most defensively in that pivotal second half?
To be honest with you, Mya's a really good on-ball defender for us. That's, I think, our biggest strength as a player. But, again, some of the adjustments we made, Kiki was really good for us in help side defense and trying to just clog the paint and protect the paint. Avery's always super active for us as well. Avery had some really big shots for us down the stretch off of our drive and kick. So I think, honestly, it was a really good collective effort with our game plan and how we wanted to try to stop her and then just finish and clean everything up with a rebound.
And, we touched on it earlier. Mya Hatchett, 19-point effort, been deadly from the free throw line. Mm-hmm. What stood out in her performance? She doesn't see much playing time to begin with, and for her to have a breakout game, such a huge momentum boost for her specifically.
Yeah, no, for sure. And, it has. It's been a rough year for Mya trying to get playing time and minutes, but we know that that's what she's capable of. And, there's been games in the past where we've drawn up a play for her to get downhill because she's really good at that. She's quick, she's athletic, she can get to the rim when she wants to. It's more or less trying to get her in the right situations for her to have the best opportunity to score and to get to the rim. So again, in a game like that with the lineup and matchup that they were playing, I thought that played to our strengths more than it did to theirs. So we tried to take full advantage of that, and I thought Mya did an awesome job of, again, doing what we needed her to do in that moment. And then finishing from the free throw line, again, was huge. We work on that every single day in practice, and that's something we want all of our kids to just have the mindset of going to that line and putting them in when we need to.
And there's evidence of that. Number one free throw shooting team in the GNAC is St. Martin's. But look a little bit more about Mya. What's her story and your background with you coming into the program last year?
Yeah, so, she missed last year due to an injury, so she got to sit out, and it was tough for her to be sidelined and watch that. But, she was still involved around in practice, so she's getting to see and hear me on the sideline every practice and kind of getting that insight so she's not missing out on anything that I'm expecting. And, yeah, again, it's been an uphill battle for her throughout the year. But, again, we know her strengths. We know that she can be a really good on-ball defender. She's quick. She's athletic. She asserts herself when she needs to. So we ask a lot of her on the defensive end. And, again, one of my mindsets that we bring every day is you got to turn your defense into offense. I am a believer that defense wins championships, but better offense can win championships too. But if you're consistent with being able to score and get stops, you're going to put yourself in a good position. So she's done a really good job of, again, trying to put pressure on other teams, ball handlers, point guards, or best players, just to get them frustrated, out of position, get them a little uncomfortable, and then getting downhill within our offense. The more we've been able to get reps throughout the season with her playing with some other people has given her more of an idea of when she's capable and when she has the best opportunities to drive instead of trying to force it through, traffic. So I think she's really progressed to see, when to reverse the ball, when to look to drive. And again, I think the other thing that she did a good job of on Saturday was finding her teammates, getting downhill, scoring when she was open, but finding her dumps and finding her tee-ups when her teammates were there.
And then looking forward to for Mya coming up with two big games on ahead, and we'll touch briefly on this, but how important is her role going to be specifically this weekend?
Yeah, just, staying within herself, not trying to do too much, not trying to get too high, too low, just doing whatever role is that we need her to play. I think that's one thing our bench has done a really good job of this year is, throughout the GNAC and even the non-conference games we played, I feel that we're a very versatile team. We can, go in and play 5 guards at a time and find success, and we can go in with a 3-out, 2-in look with, Sarah, Avery, or Eternity in there and try to pound the ball inside. So I think that's what can make a really good team and a consistent program, a successful program, is having kids that are going to understand their role and, when their number's called, they're gonna buckle down and do whatever's asked of them. And I think our bench has done an awesome job of embracing that and stepping up when they need to, and not losing a beat when it's not their time. They're still getting hyped on the bench. We're still having a bench mob, and our team's been really good about that this year.
And one of those key members from that bench is Mya Hatchett. Earlier we spoke to Mya. Alongside Mya Hatchett, Mya, what a weekend it was for you against Simon Fraser with a 19-point effort, a career high, a come-from-behind victory. Mya, every game has its own story, and you come in, you're trying to be in the right mindset. Was this game any different than any other games that you've played?
Getting the opportunity to play, I just felt like I had to, step up after halftime with Jada being injured and stuff, and us being in foul trouble and stuff like that. I just knew when I got my opportunity, I had to take it and just lock into all the details and try to be as consistent as I could, and then just overcome the adversity that we had with the team at halftime celebrating. I know I took that really personal, so I knew that if we had to come out on top, it was gonna take a lot. So.
And it all began with a made three from Keely Jade Smith right out of the gate. How big was that shot?
That was great. That was actually really great. I remember seeing it on the sideline. I was so hyped. That was a starter for sure.
And then you have more of an enhanced role in the fourth quarter, and you were solid at the free throw line. Where do you give the credit to your free throw shooting from?
We practice all the time in practice. We have coach sets it up, so it's like after every quarter per se is 10 free throws. We got to make those, and every day we're practicing. So it's just kind of like motion. What's it called? I can't remember. Just muscle memory. That's what it is.
There we go. Memory to make it happen. But for your story, you came in. You came in from Pasco. And what a great career was for you back in high school. What stands out about your time in that season, taking a Pasco team to new heights?
My favorite memory was us going to state and competing. I had a really good game that last game. So just ending off on a really good term, and then coming here and having a new team, taking on new roles and stuff like that.
So it began year one. How did the process of coming to St. Martin's work itself about?
First year was pretty challenging. I know I had to overcome a lot with the coach and stuff, and then second to last game of the season, hurting my knee. That was just really tough on me mentally, and then having to go through the process of surgery and all that in the summer, and just staying mentally tough throughout it all. But we got through it, and we're seeing success now, and so it's all worth it.
So last year, as you were on the sideline and seeing what Coach Marlowe has done with the program, what stands out to you about her role as a leader?
I would say all the positivity that she offers us, and then just letting us know that we can mess up and we can overcome it, and then just being consistent and always being ready to go when your name's called, for sure.
When the time is right,
yeah,
and you have the opportunity, and then you season. That's what you're able to do. And out of all the games that you've played so far, where does this one stack up compared to, say, the last game in state for you in high school?
This one's probably pretty close to that. Just getting the opportunity to be out there on the court and feel confident within myself, and it was close to how I felt in high school, so that was a good thing to feel.
Very
sure.
Reminiscent of
that.
Reminiscent
for sure.
But who do you, when it comes to giving credit, and a lot of people that have helped you along the way, who are some of those figures that have poured into your life, into your basketball career, into what it is today?
Definitely my family. My family's always been there for me. Some coaches, just a lot of encouragement, keeping my mental straight. So shout out to my family for sure.
Shout out to the Hatchett household for making that happen. Let's go back to head coach Natalie Marlowe. Boy, what a story about Mya and her development all the way up from Pasco up to here. missing that time last year, but boy, she has fit into her role so nicely ever since she came. She's back into the fray.
Yep, for sure. Happy to have her back.
Good to have her back. 19-point effort against Simon Fraser. Looking to do more this week. First, it begins on Thursday against Montana State University Billings, a team that has won 15 of the last 16 meetings against St. Martin's, and be a tough test, but it's awfully good to be at home.
Yeah, definitely good to be at home. Last year we had a really close one with them, one that came down to the last couple plays of the game. So that's still a little rough in our mouth, sour taste. But they're a good team. When you've got a group of kids that have been playing together for as long as those kids have, they've got so much chemistry that's just natural. And you pair that with really good coaching. One of the best players to ever play in the GNAC as an assistant coach, and then Kevin's been there and he's done a phenomenal job. So yeah, it's definitely going to be tough when you compare that to what we have and second-year coach and still trying to develop and flip the program around. But I do think that we match up with them well, and I'm really excited for our kids to have another go. That was a rough trip for us when we went out there early in January, and I think we let some things slip through the cracks. And again, they're a really good shooting team all over. They're really talented. So that's why they've won as many games as they have, and they're one of the top teams in the conference.
One of the standards of GNAC women's basketball. It'll be a very emotional night on Thursday. The Play for K game start time 6 o'clock. Be sure to be in Marcus Pavilion. It should be a heavy night, and for you, Coach, I know with the cause of what this game means, it definitely hits close to home for a lot of us.
Yeah, definitely. And that's, yesterday we took some time to watch a video that highlighted, who Kay Yao was and, her cause and the organization that she founded. I think it's a really good opportunity for our players to know that we're not just wearing pink shirts. We're not just, wearing pink accessories. There's a big cause and a big reason as to why we do it, highlighting and emphasizing cancer awareness, especially for women's cancers. Women's cancers are far less funded than men's cancer research is. That was a fact that Sarah Lamette threw out in our, video and kind of our team meeting yesterday. So I always take a lot of pride in making sure our kids are aware of it's more than just an accessory that you get to wear before a game. Yeah, I've lost my grandmother to, battle with breast cancer that came back and ultimately spread to her lungs and her liver. A few other people that, are close to me that have, survived, but also have lost their lives. We've got a player on our team with her mom battling cancer. So it's something that really hits hard, and I think it just adds another layer of purpose to why we get to, why we're showing up, but also that we have the opportunity that we get to play on Thursday and get to play for a bigger purpose than just ourselves. But yeah, it'll be a good night. We want everybody to come out, wear pink if you have it. Yeah, we're definitely excited. And again, it should be a really good game against a good opponent.
Good game, good opponent, and maybe a great storyline still to come, but also another game on Saturday taking on Hunter Beard and Seattle Pacific side. And we always talk about how competitive the GNAC is, and this, another one of those really tough matchups.
Yeah, definitely. They've struggled to get in the win column, but it's not for a lack of talent. It's not for a lack of execution. After our game on Saturday, pull up their game that's going on against Billings, and they're down 1 with 3 minutes to go in the game. So they're a heck of a team. They gave us a good battle the first go around. Their players have shown just a lot of pride within themselves, and they're still competing every game. They just haven't found a way to get those wins to stack up. But yeah, you can't sleep on that team. They're a team that's full of, again, pride, and Hunter's a heck of a player. She can score at all 3 levels, distributes the ball really well. She's someone that you have to know where she is on the court at all times.
Yeah, scoring 30 points against Central Washington, so she can score at the highest level. So what are you looking for as when you talk about the totality of the week? What stands out? What are you looking for out of your team?
Yeah, we've got to be disciplined, and, our word for the week is consistency. I told our kids after practice today, we have to be able to stack wins. We haven't had a winning streak in the GNAC, and if we want to play in March, we have to stack wins. We've got to get a couple back-to-back, and we have to really cement ourselves as more of a consistent team. We've had a lot of inconsistencies, whether it be having good offensive games, poor defense. We got to find a way to do both, and do both at a high level.
do both at a high level all the way up through the weekend and then into next week. But before we get into next week, I know, Coach, you are an NFL owner of the Green Bay Packers.
That I am.
Unfortunately, your team's playoff run was ended by the Philadelphia Eagles. They will be playing in the Super Bowl this Sunday against the Kansas City Chiefs.
Yep.
Can we go? We have a little bit of a score prediction. What are you thinking about the matchup?
Score prediction. I can't give you a score prediction. I am pulling for the Eagles. Shout out Hilla X Killa, former assistant coach, one of my best friends, big Eagles fan. But yeah, no, I think the Eagles have an awesome organization. They've done a really good job. We took 2 fat L's to the Eagles this year. As a Packers fan, it's been tough, but I do think they're a great football team. Chiefs are obviously good too, but I'm pulling for the Eagles. I think it's time for somebody else to hold that Lombardi trophy up since it, started in Green Bay.
Started in Super Bowl I in 1966. But 2 great games on the slate this week for St. Martin's women's basketball. Montana State University Billings in the Play for K game on Thursday, and then warming up with the Saints on Saturday against Seattle Pacific. Well, that's all the time that we have for Natalie Marlowe Show. And as always, it's a great day to be a Saint.